Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, hopefully you all are doing well. Okay. So let us first pay homage to the triple chain. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Saṅghang Namami Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay, welcome back to our class, the history of the life of the Buddha. So this week is going to be, this will be the last week of our study class of this course. So last but not least, so you still have the test. So and we will not have a class for the next week, but I will give you the assignment for your grade according to the criteria. You need to have a 15% of for your assignment that you have to submit. So all right. So hopefully you are doing well. Let's see how many people join our class today. Okay, today we have หลวงพี่วรวุฒิหลวงพี่บรันดอนนมัสการหลวงคิมมาน
มัสการค่ะหลวงพี่
สาธุเจริญพรเอสโกเอสเวก
รับนมัสการหลวงพี่
โรแลนด์ and today we have Lina Maria
นมัสการหลวงพี่
สาธุ and Melissa Chang Sandra Gomez Spencer Sittikan
นมัสการครับหลวงพี่
and Yomun. All right, so let's get start our today class. So first I would like to recap our previous class last week. So last week we is one of the very important chapter in the history of the life of the Buddha. And the last part of the life journey and of the Lord Buddha. It's been a long story from that's mentioned in one of the very important sutra in Mahaparinibbana Sutra, talking about the on the way going to Kusinara, where the Buddha spent his last time, and still he attained the final Nibbana. So let us take a look at the, maybe from the last class here. Okay. So let me share the screen. Okay, let's just quickly recapture from the last chapter about the Parinibbana. The Buddha attained complete Nibbana. According to the pre-test from the last week, so we cover in many different points. So actually, there's many points that I haven't mentioned on this part. There's many a part in detail actually, so we cannot cover all the details in this part. So about the Mahaparinibbana Sutra, I personally really like about this part. Is one of the part mentioned about the life of the Buddha very clearly. So there's two different side of the Lord Buddha. That one side we can see that he's one of the very powerful and enlightenment. At the same time, in another part, he show what is came out is showing the very nature of human beings. He get old, he got sick, and he passed away like a human. So, and also this part, we can learn that is when we talk about Dharma. So the Dharma and the law of the karma, the law of the nature, and doesn't care who we are. Even the most powerful and man in the world, not beyond the law of the nature, that we can see when he traveled, crossing the river, that he was thirsty, that he wanted to drink water. So that is caused by his past karma, and that one he caused the oxen to be thirsty. So with that part of the karma, so before he passed away, attained the complete Nibbana, he have to repay with that karma. So let us recap maybe from the last week that we have who is the Lord Buddha personal as attendant. As we know, that is Ananda, right? Here's Ananda. So Ananda, he the Buddha personal attendant who play a very important role in many different parts. So actually there's many a story in detail talking about Ananda, that how he served the Buddha in many different ways. And he also one of the very important chief disciple of the Buddha, after of the Buddha passed away. As he one of the senior monk who helped preserve the teaching of the Lord Buddha. And the second question, where did the Buddha attain Parinibbana? So the answer from this one, so we can say it's at the city, Kusinara. Is a small kingdom in the Mala clan, where the Buddha he decided to attain his complete nirvana and nibbana there. And the last disciple of the Lord Buddha, named Suphatta. Suphatta, the last disciple, and who offered the Lord Buddha last meal. Chunta. And what's the last meal that the Lord Buddha ate called? Does anyone remember what's food that the Buddha ate?
Mushroom pigs.
Pork, right? So this is still not sure, what the food that the last meal of the Buddha really is. There's a long, like, since the Buddha passed away, in many translation and interpretation, so this came out like two kind of meaning. So it's called Sukara. Sukara Matawa. So Sukara, this mean literally mean pig. And Matawa means salt. So in many interpretation, they translate as a salt pork that the Buddha ate. So in other interpretation, many interpretation, they found that this could be a kind of vegetable, or kind of mushroom that's pig like love to eat. So but in many interpretation, they tendency go to be like it's more like a mushroom for this term. So that's caused maybe the illness that's caused the Buddha his illness, even were not really from this kind of food. Or maybe that's why he told Ananda about not to let the junta to feel regret that his offering caused the Buddha pass away or die. Okay, so from this part to and still at the Sala part. So there's many in detail that we mentioned from the last class. So this week, we're going to be discussing about the situation after the Buddha he attained Parinibbana. So after the Buddha attained Parinibbana, how his disciple, how did the disciple deal with his body? So at that time, the ruler of the Mala clan, so they announced to the people that they could bring like perfume, scented item or flower to worship the Lord Buddha body. So they organized for 7 days. So the first 6 days, they always like people come to worship the Buddha body. It's like in the festival. It's like festival. So another important incident that happened after the Buddha passed away after 7 days. So at that time, at day 7, when they were about to burn the Buddha body, and when they're about to burn the funeral pyre, so they just couldn't. The Lord Buddha body couldn't be burned, So like they couldn't spark the fire. So at that time, the Ananda asked the Anuruddha what happened, why people cannot set the fire to burn the body. So the Anuruddha, who have the celestial eyes, and he found that the celestial being, so they didn't want didn't want the Buddha body get burned yet, because they want to have Venerable Mahakassapa to arrive at the ceremony, at the funeral first. So at the same time, the Mahakassapa, day 7 after Buddha passed away, they are traveling from Bawa kingdom to Kusinara. So with the group of the monks, around 500 monks, were with him. So on the way coming to the Kusinara, they met a wandering ascetic. So this ascetic carried and told the Mahakassapa that the flower, this ascetic, wandering ascetic, he carried the celestial flower with him and told Mahakassapa that this is what I brought from the Kusinara, where the celestial being, the Deva, worship the Buddha. Then when they heard about the news, Mahakassapa and the monk, some monks just cry loudly because they were sad that the Buddha passed away. Some monks who are enlightened just understood that all compounded things are impermanent. So at that moment, there was a monk. There was a monk named Supata. So Supata, he just ordained and entered the monkhood. He's just a new monk who entered the monkhood as an old man. He made an inappropriate remark against the Lord Buddha. And he said, stop crying, or cry not. There's no reason to grieve to the monk Gotama passing. When he was still living, he was always telling us not to do this, but to do that. Now that he is gone, we no longer have anyone to tell us what to do, and we can do whatever we want from now on. So this remark by New Monk Suppada made the Mahakassapa, found out, to mourn that, the Buddha just passed away only 7 days. There's someone already made an appropriate remark against him. So at that time, he really wanted to punish the monk, but he has to quickly to get to the Kusinara to worship the Lord Buddha body. And he hasn't go to the Kusinara. And this is the we call South Park, where the Buddha he attained the complete nirvana at the present day. It's in Kusinara in India. And this is we call Makutta Bandhana Jediya, is a place where the Buddha where his body was burned, cremated. So it's called Makutta Bandhana Jediya. So we will look at this term later for this place. So here is the term of Jediya. Jediya is in Pali term is mean the reminder or memorials. So Makutta Bandhana, it was a hall. So in which the Mala ruler put on their ornaments on festival day, and they're in grief and was worshipping the Lord Buddha body. Okay, so after the Mahakassapa arrived at the Kusinara at the funeral pyre. So he paid homage to the Lord Buddha. Paid homage, he walked 3 rounds with a group of the monks that came with him. He walked 3 rounds to the funeral pyre 3 times and pay homage to the Lord Buddha. And suddenly the fire, the funeral pyre get lit and set into fire. And after the Lord Buddha body got burned, so there's some part of his body that wasn't being burned. So like his skin, the tension, ligaments and joints, so it's burned into oil, but like bone, head hair, body hair, nail, and teeth. And teeth wasn't burned. So, and also the two innermost piece of the clothes. Also, what wasn't burned. So after the body was burned and cremated, and the Mala ruler enshrined the holy relics inside the building at the Kusinaga kingdom. And while they're celebrating for the 7th day, at that time, the other kingdom in different kingdom heard about the passing away of the Lord Buddha, and they send their envoys and children, and waiting outside of the city to share the relics, the holy relics of the Buddha. And at that time, the Malla ruler didn't want to share the relics of the Lord Buddha to the other kingdom. But at that time, there was a Brahmin named Dona, who thought that it wouldn't be good if we don't share the relics, the holy relics of the Lord Buddha to the other kingdom. Otherwise, it's going to be a war and a battle. And the Kusinara is just a small kingdom. If they have a battle, they would have been defeated for sure. So the Brahmin Dona, he was respected by the Malla ruler and also the king and the many other rulers in different kingdom. So he's the one who was the mediator to share the holy relics to the different kingdom. Then the relics was divided into 8 equal different parts and shared to the envoy that sent from a different kingdom. For the Dona, Brahmin Dona, he asked for the golden measuring cup for him. And then the Molya ruler of the Bipli also sent the envoy to ask for the holy ash. There's no more relics to share, and he asked for the holy ash to enshrine in the stupa. And there's an 8 one the envoys that's sent from different kingdom after they had the relics, and they return to their kingdom and they enshrine the relics, and they erect the stupa and enshrine the holy relic inside the stupa in 8 different kingdoms. So in the Kusinaga, the Dona, the Brahmin Dona, he also built the stupa and enshrined the gold measuring cup at the Kusinaga. And for the Maurya ruler, he also created a stupa and enshrined the ash in the stupa. So there are totally 10. There are totally 10 stupa that's built to enshrine the holy relics of the Lord Buddha. That is the partition and of the holy relics of the Lord Buddha. Okay, so now let's go move on to another important part of the situation of the Buddha passed away. So Mahakassapa, after the division of the village is over, the Mahakassapa still remembered about his concern about the Supata remark again to the Lord Buddha. So he would like to arrange to preserve the teaching of the Buddha, to protect the teaching. And in this case, it's happened. The intention to preserve the teaching of the Lord Buddha is already mentioned in when the Buddha is still alive. So one Sariputta, he found in the case of the Jainism, the Mahavira, the founder of the Jainism, when he passed away, his disciple and his follower just separate, So he thought that the teaching of the Lord Buddha and Buddhism shouldn't be the same case as Jainism. So he would like to collect all the teaching of the Buddha and to be more organized and systematic, and it's easy to preserve the original teaching. So before the coming of the recitation of the teaching of the Buddha, now what we call Sankiti. So in the Sankiti, it's a recitation, or another term we call rehearsal, to memorize and preserve and make it organized and easy to memorize and make the teaching systematically easy to be preserved. At that time, one of the very important, the one who is going to join the council or recitation, that is the Ananda, who still not yet the Arahanta, but in the criteria to join the rehearsal, the monk have to be only Arahanta. So the Mahakassapa, I said that there must be 500 Arahata monk to attain and join the rehearsal. So at that time, Venerable Ananda, he haven't attained arahantship yet. So he practiced, trying to put his effort and practice intensively to attain the arahantship. But because he put his effort to 10, and that lead him to be exhausted, and he got tired, and he would like to rest. And the moment that he taking a rest, and in half sitting, half laying down, and his mind relaxed, and his mind became still, and at that moment he was able to attain the arahantship right away. So this is the kind of maybe illustration of how he attained the arahantship. It's not in the meditation posture. It's not while he walking meditation. It's not while he's standing or laying. But it's a kind of strength and aware position and posture that's quite different from the other Arahata monk. So it's a kind of at the middle between sitting and laying down. So after before just one day, the rehearsal of the teaching of the Lord Buddha will be held. He attained arahantship, and he used his psychic power, supernatural power, and dive into the earth and appear at the cave that they held the Sankiti. So this is what we call Sankiti. Sankiti, the mean of rehearsal. Sometimes they translate as a council, or sometimes they translate as a recitation. So it's about the way to preserve, to memorize, and collect all the teaching of the Buddha. So at that time, there were 3 senior monks. Now, Venerable Mahakassapa is the head of the recitation, and Venerable Ubali, who recites on the Vinaya, or the rule, the Vinaya, the regulation, monastic regulation, and Venerable Ananda, the one who recite the sutra, the dhammas and the story that, because he had been living with the Buddha most. And this first recitation or Sankiti was held at the cave, and the cave near Rajakaha in the kingdom of Makata. So the cave is called Sattapani. The cave is called Sattapani cave near Rajakaha. And the main supporter of this first Sankiti was King Achasattu, who provided the 4 requisites to all the monks who participate the recitation or Sankiti at that time. So there are totally 500 Arahat monks who attain to be the witness of the recitation of the first Sankiti. So in the recitation and in the first Sankiti, so they preserve the teaching by we call oral tradition. At that time, there's no written form. So at the first part of the preservation, so it's memorized by the senior monk, and later on transmit from generation to generation, and later the teaching of the Buddha were recorded in the written form in later council. There's many different Sankiti that's held after the Buddha passed away. So and still today, the teaching was called, we call Tipitaka. And Tipitaka is a holy Buddhist scripture that's we call categorize the teaching of the Buddha in 3 different parts. So the first part about Vinaya, the monastic regulation, and talking about the rule of for the monk and the rule for the bhikkhuni, for the female monk, and that's part. And another part is the collection of the sutra. It's about the story where the Buddha went to teach some people. And another part, another section, and the third we call Abhidhamma, is about the talking about the ultimate truths in the teaching of the Buddha. We call Abhidhamma. So in this council, in the first Sankiti, it took totally 3 months. And still 3 months, still the Sankiti was held and finished. All right, so that is the overall about in this chapter. So after the Buddha passed away, the situation and how people, the king and the Malla ruler deal with his body, and how they cremate the Buddha body and share the relics to the envoy, go back to a different kingdom, and then they build a stupa to enshrine the Buddha relics to let the people worship his relics. And it's come to be the way of the monk community, and how they preserve the teaching of the Lord Buddha, and still transmit from generation to generation to today, the present day, the teaching of the Buddha still available and accessible to be learned, study and practice, and that like we have been learned from this class. All right, so we come to an end, and the last part of the Naktam in the subject of the history of the Buddha. Okay, so from here, does anyone have any question that you would like to ask from this part?
I have a question, but that is already regarded to the test.
Yes.
I think in the beginning you said that we are following one book that Luang Pi provided for the life story of the Buddha, but there are two books uploaded. So which of those two books is the one that we are going to follow?
So we will follow the maybe the two. Let me.
I think it is called The History of Gautama Buddha, right? With the blue.
Ah, yes, the blue one, the blue cover.
The blue cover at the bottom with the Buddha on the top. Okay. Yeah, then I know. Yeah, okay. Good to have that cleared, yeah.
Gautama. We relies on this a book as the main. Actually, there's many other in detail, and we're going to use this book as the main one.
Okay.
So the other, that's maybe there might be some internal information that I put on my slide that is not in the book, so that you can check it in the slide that I put some more details on the slide. But mostly I have taken from the blue one.
Okay, thank you. And okay, as there is no one with another question, I'm just curious about the amount of or the number of arahants. Is that also recorded during the next meeting of the monks?
Yes, and after the first Sankiti, the first recitation of the teaching, so, and later on, around 200 years after the Buddha passed away, they also have the second rehearsal, There are also a different number of each rehearsal, but I don't really I cannot really remember exactly the number, but the first and the second Sankirti, there are 500 Alahadamang, and the second time, there were maybe around 1,000.
Okay.
Was a 1,000 Arahanthamang, and they also a different course, of the each rehearsal, So the second rehearsal, as I remember, there was some group of the monk, they just didn't follow the Vinaya. There's a 10 kind of 10 case. That's there was a cause of the second rehearsal, and there was a agreement that the Buddha's allowed this, and they have the second rehearsal to recite, to recollect the teaching of the Buddha. And for the third time, it was in the Ashoka period. It's one of the Indian emperor. So at that time, also Buddhist monk and Buddhism was divided into different denominations, So Ashoka king is the one who supported the Buddhism at that time, got confused who is the one who really followed the teaching of the Lord Buddha, and they have a third rehearsal. And also he's one of the Buddhist supporter who sent the Buddhist monk missionary to propagate the teaching in different legend, include like it's a time when Buddhism spread to Thailand, there were sent the missionary monk that sent by the King Ashoka in 9 different groups, in different direction. There's also the 2 monks, that travel from India, Jambudvipa at that time, and to the Southeast Asia, and at that time called Golden in Thailand, in this area, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand. At that time, it's not a country now today. They call it Golden Land, and Buddhism started to spread and establish and reach in this legend. Now, because of the King Ashoka, so, and he also sent his many Buddhist missionary monks to propagate the teaching in many different parts, like send the monk go to Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka, and go to the Middle East, and to the north, in 9 different directions. So that happened at the third Sankirti, that's held. And the 4th and 5 and 6. So as I remember, that's held in the Sri Lanka, and the first time that the teaching of the Lord Buddha records as a text, so record the teaching in the Sanghali's language, and they wrote the teaching, the Tipitaka, on palm leaf, and that's the first time that the teaching was recorded as a text, and later on it's translated into different languages, and it's come to be the different Buddhist scripture, what we call Tipitaka. So Tipitaka mean tree, and Pitaka mean baskets, or collection. So it's about the way to preserve the teaching of the Lord Buddha to be easy to preserve, to memorize. And at that time, and the oral tradition to preserve the teaching of the Buddha slightly fade away. So before that, the monk have to memorize, and there are totally 84,000 we call words, discourse, totally. That's monk and have to memorize. Still, we call some Burmese monk, who still was able to memorize, in the different parts of the teaching of the Buddha, as that's a traditional, we call oral transmission. So when this comes as a text, it's easier to read and acceptable. There's a Thai version, the Tipitaka in Thai version, and English version. So I heard that they translate into English before Thai. So it's called Pali Canon. So it's called Pali Canon. There are totally 33 books. So which you can read directly from the Buddha Vajana, the teaching from the Buddha words directly, So that is come from the recitation from the first Sangati. So in the Tipitaka, you may often find as a term that I have heard. That is what the Ananda he recite in the first Sangiti. That's I have heard. And that is what Ananda he recite and he have heard from the Lord Buddha. So today we have a Tipitaka online. You can easily and access to and check. And many different sutra is much more convenient. You don't have to go and turn the book. And I've seen in Thai. I'm not sure there's in English. Called e-Tipitaka application. Can read and learn the sutra through this platform. And I also have seen many websites that they translate from Pali into English.
Yeah, there's also a German version. It's not complete, not full, but many sutras inside there.
That's good. All right, so okay, so let us summarize about the life, the subject of the history of the life of the Buddha. From the beginning, so far that we have learned and have been together learning, enjoying this class. So from the beginning, the life of the Buddha. So from the beginning, he had the intention, to be the Bodhisattva, from the very ordinary person, and who saw the suffering of the life of the beings and the struggling, and he made a strong intention that to help the being free from the cycle of rebirth, to help the being free from suffering. And it take a long time for him, for Asankhya, and 2000 Mahakapa to attain, the Buddhahood in order to teach the living being to free from the suffering. And after he achieved enlightenment, he spent 45 years propagate his teaching to teach people, and still the teaching was settled, and to make sure that the teaching is settled and well practiced, and his disciple very scholars on his teaching. So like you mentioned, that if the full Buddhist community is not settled down, he will not attain complete or final nirvana. So that is showing that how compassionate he is, So, and the Buddha, he had the pure intention, pure intention that seeing the beings in the so-called of suffering, and by his wisdom, he knew and understand the nature of individual, and he dedicates his life to learn and how to understand being nature in order to be able to teach them, provide them dharma that's suitable for their nature. And so he is considered as a great teacher, and showing us a good role model. That's how he show an example before teaching the people to understand the nature of suffering and cause of the suffering, and still is leading to we call ending the circle of rebirth. So he is a true and great teacher that's who dedicates one own's our own life in order to help our mankind to understand the truths. All right, so for this week, so maybe I would like to finish maybe our class early today. So for the test and examination, so we will announce later when we're going to have the test. And next week, I will send you the assignment on the line group to for grading. So it would be 15% of the course of the credit that's you have to submit the assignment here. All right, so last, I would like to invite everyone to spend short time to meditate together, and we'll spread the loving kindness to all beings. Okay, so now sit your comfortable sitting position. Okay, relax your minds and body. If you're ready, gently close your eyes. All right, now relax your minds and body. And keep your eye closed and repeat this affirmation after me. Okay, just repeat in your mind and just spread your peaceful mind and goodwill towards yourself and towards all kind of living beings. Sappe satta avera hontu apaya pacha hontu sukhi attanang pariharantu. May all beings be free from anger. May all beings be free from ill will. May all beings be free from enmity. May all beings be free from mental suffering. May all beings be free from physical suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be free from danger. May all beings be happy. Okay, Anumodana, and thank you for your kind intention. Okay, last and final. Okay, I wish everyone and to get prepared for the exam. So lastly, so I would like to I give a blessing and with everyone by the power and virtue of the Buddha, the virtue of the Dharma, and the virtue of the Sangha, the virtue of the teacher, the virtue of the parents, and which everyone, whatever you wish, whatever you would like to achieve, that is in a good way, in a wholesome way. So wish all the wish to be fulfilled. Wish everyone to be protective and having a prosperous life. Okay, so now let us pay homage to the Triple Gem. อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภควาพุทธังภควันตังอภิวาเทมิ สวากขาโตภควตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิ สุปฏิปันโนภควโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามิ Okay, the best of luck, everyone. Take care.
thank you หลวงพี่สาธุ
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Sadhu.